fighting soldiers from the sky, fearless men who jump and die, men who do just what they say, the brave men of the Green Beret, silver wings.
Welcome to the United Constitutional Patriots Radio Show with our host, Johnny and Chuck. Tonight we will be talking about the border, what's going on the border in America, and also things that are other issues that are going on in America. So now I will turn the mic over to Johnny. So here's Johnny.
Thank you, B. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the United Constitutional Patriot Radio Show out of New Mexico. We've got a lot of things that we need to discuss with everybody tonight. I want to thank for the generous donations that we are getting. I want to thank the American people that are standing behind us. However, we are still in the same situation, folks. Our border is still wide open. We do have groups that are contacting us saying that they will be here within 5 days, which I know that they're coming from, some of them from a long way away, but that is, we don't have near enough people coming. Folks, our border is wide open, literally wide open. 3 days ago, we posted the pictures that we had some of our members went down, took videos, pictures, so people could see what is actually going on and that there is no military whatsoever on the border of New Mexico. The reason why is our illustrious governor refuses to do what President Trump has asked and deploy the National Guard. Now, they do have troops on the borders of California, Arizona, and Texas. We are literally wide open, folks. Go to the United Constitutional Patriots Facebook page. Look at the pictures. The only thing stopping anybody from coming across that border is a 3-foot fence that looks like 3 feet. That's actually not even a barbed wire fence. It's a wooden fence. It's about 3 feet tall. A tall man can step over it. Folks, we need to have people on the border, down on the far eastern border of, the western border of New Mexico. We have down around the rodeo area, we need boots on the ground there really bad. Our report is from the ranchers and stuff, they're scared to death down there. They have armed people coming across the border. They have people coming across, no one there to stop them. The people are in fear of their lives down there. Nobody is doing anything. We are the only ones. Now, I had understood that all of our men, when I pulled them off the border, that they had all come back up and gone to where they were supposed to until we get, more people. I found that we have a gentleman named David down there. His truck broke down. He's still there. We also need to get funds to help him get his truck fixed. He is the only person on the border right now, right outside of Columbus. I understand there's, he's at the park there. So folks, please, if you can see it, if you can afford it, I don't care if it's $1, $5, $10, please donate to the United Constitutional Patriots. Our funds go to the people that need help, that are on the border, to help them once they're on the border. And also we help the patriots that have to get to places where there's hurricanes, tornadoes, disasters, fires, wherever they're needed. Folks, we can't do this without you. More than anything, yes, we do need funding, but we also need boots on the ground. not just as patriots, but as Americans. New Mexico is the only border to where they could almost literally drive a car across. From one end of the border to the other. This has been the most unprotected border there in the States. And this is where the most of the drug cartel, ISIS, however you want to call them, your Muslims, this is where everything's been going on. And up until 3 years ago, when we first went to the border with the Border Patrol of Alabama, since then we've been going down there, and we haven't been able to stop what's going on. The Border Patrol works with us. We're down there to work with the Border Patrol. However, if anybody is fired on, I don't expect you to be fired on and not fire back, and neither does the Border Patrol. At this point right now, ladies and gentlemen, we need help. I'm asking you, please, share this, keep sharing it, but at the same time, get word out that we need people on the border. We need funding. Our books are open to anybody at any time. We'll show where every penny is spent, where it goes. None of this is used for motels and restaurants. It's used for gas, used for supplies. It's used to help the men on the border. We don't just send them the money and say, come. Once they're on the border, then they have all the help they need. We are self-funding. We are not sponsored by anybody except the American people. Everybody that goes to the borders volunteer. They volunteer their time. Most of us are veterans that go down there. Civilians are more than welcome. We have an area to where we can train you before you go down there. We're not going to send someone down into an area that's a hot spot or to an area where there could be trouble and expect you to defend yourself if you don't know how. It's not about just pointing a weapon and pulling a trigger. There's other things you need to be trained in. We do have an area that we do train, and it's in the Farmington area. This is where we are asking people to report to, because we need to vet everybody. That's one of the things that the Border Patrol wants, is anybody going down there to vet. Now, I'm going to explain something. State of New Mexico, I'm explaining this because they've asked question, is an open carry state. They will not bother you. If you're packing a weapon, they're not going to say a word because they're expecting it. The state of New Mexico is follows the Constitution as far as being an open carry state and being able to have AR-15s, M16s, whatever, as long as, they're not fully automatic. Your sidearms are your preference. I suggest that you have body armor. I suggest that you have supplies enough to where when you get here, to where you can last for a little while, and then when you start running low, we have designated people that we send the money to immediately, and they get you the supplies. Now, we are asking for supplies. We're asking for blankets, tents, binoculars, night vision, stuff like this for those that can donate them. And now I'm going to give you a few minutes to where you can get a pen and paper, and I will tell you how to send that stuff to us. Food, toiletries. These men are in the field. These men are in tents. These men are watching the border to protect the United States of America. If these people get through and come up, they will spread out and they will succeed in overthrowing our country or end up causing one hell of a bloody battle. We're trying to protect you from this happening, folks. a lot of people, they don't want to believe this. They say, well, this is what it said on the news. This is what it said on the news. Don't believe the fake news. Do not believe what they're saying. Now, they do have the, up in San Diego, they do have the border pretty secure there. They've got one hell of a wire fence that I don't think a mouse can get through without getting shredded. Arizona has their problems yet, but at least they do have the military there and they do have troops on the ground. But where the help is needed now is here in New Mexico. Texas, they say Texas is taken care of. Well, that's great. New Mexico is not taken care of. You know, if you were to get a live, well, I guess you'd call it satellite image that would be live, not just, you know, not just the pictures. You would see there's nobody on the border. Our team that went down the other day to get pictures for proof of this, from the time that they drove about 3 hours, they seen 2 Border Patrol, 1 cop, Homeland Security. That was it. Now, that's not good, folks. Antelope Wells West is really wide open. From Antelope Wells East, Santa Teresa, Columbus, you're in a little bit of a, I guess, mountain terrain. But also, you need boots. You need coats. You're going to need ammunition. You're going to need water. A way to cook your food, you know. And like I said, we will help once we have boots on the ground. We will help every way we can. Chuck, could you put the photos of the border up on this, please, that She-Wolf and the team took the other day? Would you put them up on our screen in the radio room here, please?
Yes, I'll see if I can grab them.
We have so much going on, folks. I'm just mentally and physically wore out from trying to stress the need. You know, like I said the other night, if you can afford a pack of cigarettes, you can afford a $5 bill. $5, with all of our people that are listening to this, if they just did $5, it could build and give us the funds we need to support and help these men. Now, in the last 3 days, we had a $200 donation, 2 $20 donations, a $50 donation, and a $25 donation. Well, that's enough to get the men from here down to the border. And I'm 400 miles from the border, and make sure that they have what they need when they get there. You know, I'm going to give you an address where you can send donations to, other than PayPal account if you don't trust PayPal. Sometimes PayPal holds us up, but you can send donations. That's why I said get a pen and paper. You can send donations to Mark Cheney, Cheney, 7 CR 3547, Flora Vista, New Mexico, 87415. This is for sending packages and stuff. If you want to send gas cards or Walmart cards, this is where you send it to. Again, I'm going to give it to you. Mark Cheney, Cheney, 7 CR, that stands for County Road, 3547, Flora Vista, New Mexico, at 87415, and in care of you, and put Mark Cheney to in care of United Constitutional Patriots, and he will get the packages and he will disperse them. Folks, this is a serious, serious situation. We're going to also have other people that are military trained. We have been given the authority to arrest American or the crooked politicians under the, oh boy, my mind just went blank, as citizens, doing citizens arrests, but there's a way it has to be done to make it legal. And we have that information on how to do it. That is why we are asking everybody to come to the address I just gave you, where it will come to where you can report to Mark Cheney, and then from there you will be instructed where our training area is, which is right close by right there, and you will be met by our field commander, and he will explain to everybody what's going on, pick teams to work together, and everybody work in unison. This isn't about who the boss is. This is about doing it right. Our commander has just got back up off the border, and when we get back down there, we got to make sure David is taken care of, and I hope and pray that we can have enough to help him have his truck fixed. This kid has had nothing but bad luck with his truck, and I don't mind helping him at all because he came in, he was there, he's been there and done it. So this is what is going on, folks. Again, we need donations really bad. This isn't just for us, it's for your kids, for their future. This is to try to make sure there's no guarantee we can stop them if they hit this border, but this is to guarantee, there's no guarantees in any type of a war situation, because this is not just a bunch of people wanting to come here to make a better life for themselves. This caravan is an invasion, and that's not exaggeration. Mexico right now admits that. War Dog, do you want to take over, please, for a minute while I take this call?
Yeah, Johnny. Yeah, we need to seal that New Mexico borderline as we're looking at it. It would be great to put a camp every 20 miles, every 30, 40 miles, whatever we got to do. But I think the American people would be more than giving if we can get the word out that what we're trying to do, because if they start pouring in across the New Mexico border, which they have, and the only reason you're not hearing anything about it, people, is the media is not covering it because you've got a Democratic governor, a crooked governor down there. They don't want no media, and the media's paid off, so you're not hearing anything about it. The people from New Mexico can tell you about it, the horror stories, the human trafficking, the pedophile thing going on down there. It's horrible. So we've got to get together, and if we can get enough people together and enough funding, we can do this and seal that border. It's up to us. This is our country. Mr. Trump's doing all he can. We all know that. But when you got a governor down there, it's not reporting anything, and you got people like Peter Strzok in there supposed to be reporting it to the president. Well, we know we don't even have to discuss that, because this is a reason why it's not getting out. We're telling you that right here on the United Constitutional Patriot Radio Show. We're giving you the facts, giving you the real news. This looks like we've got 2,000 miles of borderline there. I don't know how much borderline, how many miles we have in New Mexico exactly. Johnny can probably tell you But we really need to start putting our little camps, and we need funding so we can do this and shut that sucker down, because they're coming in and out there with drugs. Like I said, human trafficking, gangs are coming across there. Johnny can tell you horror stories, and it's been happening for years and years and years, and it's happening tonight. It's going to happen tomorrow night. It's going to happen next week. How many people are coming across there? How many guns? How many drugs? You know, we put just a few guys down there, we stopped hundreds of people. We brought in hundreds of people. Even though whatever happened down there, we still deter a lot of people. So, and they caught ISIS down there. So what we're doing is working. I mean, we probably have brought in a few thousand working with the Border Patrol. So our money's well spent regardless. And we really need to grow this program. We need people like you from all over the world, not just in the United States, because the United States falls, you know, y'all are in trouble next. So we need funding from y'all too. We need off-road vehicles. We need med tents. We need all kinds of stuff. And we need to organize this, and we need people. We need you. We need boots on the ground. We know we've got more than enough people out there to make this work. And this is a call out to all patriots. This is our butt on the line right now. You can look on the internet and you'll see it's almost like we're living a horror story, you know, but we can stop it. Well, Lord Jesus Christ, in our common sense, we can stop this in your help. So I'm crying out to everybody out there. And please share this United Constitutional Patriots show to everyone you know. Okay, Johnny, I'll let you have it back, or Chuck.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was just corrected. We live out in the country out here, and they keep changing things on us. And now it's no longer County Road 3547, it's just Road 3547. I mean, we got a bunch of rednecks out here, and everything changes, overnight. But so it's 7 Road 3547, Flora Vista, New Mexico. Just leave the C off of it. Just put County Road, or Road, excuse me. Now, what War Dog was saying is very true. This area here, we have some people in jail up here that is their cartel. They put the word out down in Mexico to come and get them out of jail. We know there are large portions of MS-13 that are headed this direction for that very reason. And the Sheriff's Department's up here knows. San Juan County Sheriff's Department. You can verify this. But this is one of their purposes to come up. MS-13 is with these groups that are coming. We have United Nations people coming. They are armed with weapons and explosives that we know of for a fact. Now, we've heard rumors there's supposed to be tanks down in New Mexico that are Russian, some say Chinese. We don't have that verified yet, but we're working on verifications. I highly doubt that either one is there, but we can't rule anything out in a case like this. However, my concern is this, the New Mexico border. I live in New Mexico. This is my home state. I wasn't born here or raised here, but this is what I call my home state now because this is where I live. This is where I pay my taxes. But the problem is you can see the pictures right now of the fence. Actually, you can see pictures of our men down there that were down there scoping everything out, checking, watching, seeing what is going on so they could report true vetted facts to you. And that's why we had them sent down there. Now, folks, everybody in the country is saying, you know, well, we need funding, we need funding, we need donations, we need donations. If you're going to donate to the Red Cross, please don't donate it to us. Red Cross is down there in Mexico, and they are giving them tent, food, supplies, everything you can think of. They are backing them. The Catholic churches all across the United States, from Texas to California, are harboring these people, giving them safe haven, feeding them, clothing them, and sending them on their way. This is vetted, this is proof, this is fact. You know, we need Americans that are willing to stand up to protect their lives and their family and the freedom of this country. For you veterans out there, now, there's a lot of keyboard veterans out there. There's a lot of them can't come, but a lot of them can. The majority of them can. All you got to do is reach down and say, hey, you know what? This is my country. I'm standing up for it. And if you don't have the balls for it, what the hell good are you? You know, people say, well, I want to stay and protect my family. Your family is going to be very well protected, regardless of if you're sitting in your house or if you're sitting on that border. Down on the border, your family has more of a chance of surviving than sitting in your house, because you'll be fighting them in your own backyard trying to save your kids, save your wives, your mothers, your fathers, your aunts, your uncles. This is what this is about. We need to stop them at our border, because they've already made it clear, the cartel has already made it clear that they are coming through New Mexico, and this is one of their main patterns. And that is why our governor has not put troops on the border, because she has family that is involved with the cartel. This is where the problem comes in. Trump cannot order any patriots at any time to go anywhere. It's treason. The reason it's treason is because we are in a soft martial law and have been for over 6 months. So it's up to us as Americans, as civilians, and as veterans. I don't know what else to say. It's up to us to stand together, shoulder to shoulder. Man up. Come where you're needed. You know, nobody's getting paid for this. Nobody. But we are going to do our best to take care of everybody that's on the border. It's not easy. It's a bitter pill to swallow when you have a state, or you have a government in that state that refused to stand up for the American people and the taxpayers of that state. I'm asking from coast to coast for your help, whether it's donations or boots on the ground. We need both, and the men need both. You know, when we came back from Nam, we were spit on, kicked, put down. You know, I feel that's what they're doing to us right now in this state. That America is spitting and kicking the people that are trying to fight to keep these people out. It's not a good feeling, folks. You know, we're Americans, and we're in a state that just happens to have the worst governor in the country. We need your help, moral, prayers. We need it all. And I'm asking you again, if you can send donations, we have a PayPal set up that is in the United Constitutional Patriot page site on Facebook. All you got to do, Google it, it'll pop up. You'll see it. The other, if you can send supplies, 7 Road 3547, Flora Vista, New Mexico, 87415. This is where you need supplies sent for the men so we can get them to them. I don't know what else to say. Nuclear Warrior, you got anything you want to say? I don't think Nuclear Warrior is there right now. Chuck, you got anything? Okay, go ahead, Pete. Thank you, Pete. And ladies and gentlemen, Pete is an advisor to President Trump. And we're proud to have him with us. Now, Shea Wolf, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes, we were down there, boots on the ground, nothing, nothing to protect our our state and our country from anybody who decides to come in. And that's not just the 65 miles that we traveled. That's the whole border of New Mexico. The complete and whole border of New Mexico has got all of a 3 foot fence that any at any time and come in. And they're doing it right now as we speak. When it gets dark, the cartel is coming in, they're coming in, the guns, the drugs, all the bad people are coming in, and nobody is there to protect us. It's really sad when you hear about all these churches and the Red Cross that are helping these people come into our country and invade us, and us as patriots trying to protect our rights, our freedom, our country, our president, and our children can't get the help that we need. We implore you, please, whatever you have to offer, whether it be 1 can of food or 5 cans of food or $1 or $5, these men need it to help to protect our freedom.
Thank you, Shea Wolf. Anybody else got anything they want to add to this? Because then we're going to cover another situation that's going on in Oklahoma. Chuck, you got anything you want to say?
No, sir. I think you pretty much covered it.
Okay, Nuclear Warrior, go ahead.
Yeah, you covered it well. And the only thing I might add is a situation that I became aware of this morning. A friend of mine who happens to be relatively far up in the chain of command for the Red Cross posted on Twitter this morning that it's not okay. One of his workers that is down on the Mexico side of the border assisting with the migrants down there was killed by, they're not sure if it was one of the folks from Honduras or who, but it just goes to show you that even on the other side of the border, you're not safe because of the riffraff that is scattered in amongst the true migrants that would like to really be able to come into this country under the asylum flag. But they have to go through the channels and do it the correct way, go through the ports of entry. And that's why it's very important that we get our border in New Mexico staffed and be able to at least let them know that we're watching, so they might not be so ready to come across not knowing what's on the other side. So that's all of the input that I want to provide. It's unfortunate that that Red Cross worker lost their lives, but you know, that's the risk that they take to volunteer to help the unknown. So give it back to you, Johnny. That's it for me for the night.
Okay, just in. just in. This is what I was afraid of. Part of the caravan has arrived to the border right across from Douglas, Arizona. Only 20 troops are there. Now, Douglas is right close to the New Mexico border. So, and that is an area that is similar to our border. So, it's moving closer to us because it's a bottleneck where they'll be able to come in here. They'll be stopped in Arizona. They'll be stopped in Texas, but the bottleneck is going to come right straight up through us. Folks, please, I'm begging you to help us. And I will do that. I got a lot of pride. But you know what? We need the help. Now, here's what the situation is. We don't get the help. We don't get the boots on the ground. There's going to be a bloody massacre in this country. These people are not nice. They're not here to shake your hand. If they were coming here to be a part of America, they wouldn't have the British Honduras flag flying, and they would not be burning the American flag. The videos of them doing this are all over the internet. People, you're not blind. Your head's not stuck in the sand. You are Americans. Stand up for America. Stand up for what's right. Go ahead, She-Wolf.
I'm sorry, I was just posting the video of what I just wrote there.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Go ahead, War Dog.
What they're going to try to do, if you've seen how they did France and how they did in Germany and all through there, they took over overnight. They came in, crashed the party, tore the towns all up. The media didn't let you see it, but we seen bits and parts of it. And that's all you seen, bits and parts. It was worse. They want to crash that border like Johnny's telling you. He's been in combat before. He knows how to stop before it happens, okay? New Mexico's wide open. They're going to come crashing in there. And when they do, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am, they come crashing through there, they're going to do to America what they did to France and Germany. Overnight, they were jerking people out of cars, stomping the crap out of them. The gangs that were already there in their country joined them and high-fived it in the middle of the street. It's loud. And they were talking to each other on the phones. That's what they want to do here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, they want to crash through the border. And you're looking at hundreds of thousands they're talking about now, coming from Venezuela, all over Cuba. They've been coming out from Somalia. They've been busting them on the border. You know, Johnny, ISIS and everybody else. We deterred some of those people ourselves last few weeks. But they're coming across in mass amounts, just like I said. But we've got to shut that border down. We're asking you to help us. We're Americans. We're smarter than they are. Let's shut that border down. Listen to General Horton. I'm gonna be down there with you when shit hits the fan. But we need your help tonight. And Johnny, I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
Thank you, War Dog. Folks, again, I'm going to give you the addresses and how you can make donations. The address I gave, 7 Road 3547, Flora Vista, New Mexico, 87415. If you want to go to the border, this is where you report to. This is also where you send donations. Okay, I'm talking about blankets, socks, shorts, you name it. These guys, these guys are when they're down there, they're in the field, they're right on the border watching. They're working with the Border Patrol. Border Patrol's working with them. They're the eyes and the ears. Once the military gets there, our orders are to back off, let the military take over, which is no problem. I have no problem with that at all. But we need tents. We need, if you have those tent heaters that work off of kerosene or something like that to where they can stay warm at night. It gets wintertime here. Very cold at night, warm during the day. This is things that are needed. Last January when I was down on the border, we actually had the rattlesnakes still out. Yeah, first aid kits, definitely. We need medical people. We need women that are willing to come down and cook and help for these people. We need help in every direction, and everybody needs to work together in unison and doing it not just for our country, but for each other. The unity, the support, that is what is needed for the ones that can't come. Support the groups that are down there. Show them you care. Show them that you're going to be there. If nothing else, in prayer. I don't know how to be, Bibles. I don't know how to be more blunt than the fact of what I've already been. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and make it sound like it's all really nice and that it's going to be a waltz, it's going to be a walk in the park. Wrong. Possibility some people are going to die. Do you want to take over for a second, War Dog?
Yeah, we'll need generators because there's no power out there. Water. There's no water out there where everybody's going to be. And we're looking at a lot of miles to cover. But we've got to get this done. And they look like they're heading toward Johnny's way because they're coming right around there. And I would really watch the news tonight, or keep your eyes with the Constitutional Patriots, because I believe they're going to, there's not going to be enough. 20 soldiers down there, they just ran right over the Mexican police. These are not friendly people. They're really bad people, man. I have a really bad feeling about this, and we need to pray for those guys down on that border.
You are right, War Dog. I didn't realize that we had the caravan so close. Nobody has reported it. Again, when we don't have boots on the ground down there, we cannot, only way if we don't have the reports to give to the people. Now we've got to get some in down there immediately, and it's going to be a handful. So here is what I am asking right now. I am asking you as Americans, proud Americans who stand with Trump, please dig in your pockets, send funding to us so we can get it down there and have the funds to get people to where they're going. You can send it, you can do PayPal on the United Constitutional Patriot page on Facebook, or you can send donations, food, supplies, things that the men are going to need to 7 Road 3547, Flora Vista, New Mexico 87415. Anybody else have anything they want to add into this nuclear warrior?
No, pretty much gave you my piece there, Johnny.
Okay. Doc Robinson?
I would just say maybe more radio equipment if anybody has the knowledge and the ability that can get that to the guys so they can communicate with one another.
Right. Now, we do have a limited amount of shortwave radios that it was donated by Mike, Nuclear Warrior, which I really appreciate. She-Wolf, do you have anything you want to add? Well, she isn't flashing. Okay, go ahead, She-Wolf.
Thank you.
They did a great job, Johnny, on the videos. They really showed what the New Mexico border looked like, and it's just wide open. I just want to tell She-Wolf and them y'all did a great job, Johnny, all together, putting that together so people can actually see that little fence that a jackrabbit can jump. I would love to see tents and people out there every 20 miles if we can do that. But it's a very dangerous situation, and we really need people organized that can come together and make this happen. There you go, John.
Yeah, actually, we need them about every mile, or about every 10 miles. Make sure they have radio communication between them so they can report. Now, She-Wolf, I'm sorry you got walked on by Mike. He didn't see you on. What were you saying, ma'am?
That's okay. I just was going to say, God bless our country. God bless the vets that are going down there, the men that are standing up for our freedom. God bless our president. And let's do this, folks. Let's get out here and protect our country.
Amen to that. Okay. Before we close the show tonight, anybody got anything they want to say?
Yes, I would like to add something myself.
Okay, we got Ed on the phone. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, I'm Ed from New.Oregon Trackers, and I suggest people read what the law really is compared to the fantasy they live. But the one thing is on this structure, if you got tents laying around in your attic and stuff, ship them down to them. Because we have all this stuff that's laying there we don't use. I mean, how many people have had tents in their homes that they never used and stuff? So we look at, instead of making new purchases, how do we solve the other issue to protect our bloodline? Because if you don't comprehend that your bloodline, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, it doesn't exist by the Constitution, because the only reason why the Constitution is alive by heritage. It's the same thing by the British government and the Banking Act of 1933, executive order. The only reason that exists because of bloodline. So people have to correlate that with the bloodline compared to what they think it is, compared to the reality of what they're going by administrative rules. So when we put this stuff together and protect it, yes, it is our bloodline. Yes, we are being invaded by domestic terrorists. And there's a video that you could even watch by the Lakota Indians that brought up the fact that we didn't invite you here. We are not a country of immigration. We are a country that has been invaded till today. And so when these men and women in the corporation, like Obama, come out and said, we're a national of immigration, and I've argued with some of the scholars, even with the major universities, going, well, we're a corporation. He could be president. He could do this because we're a corporation. And the federal law and administrative rules that I have on the website, it states that if you're not born in the 48 states, because Alaska and Hawaii are not part of the 48 states, they're part of a corporation. And people have to research and comprehend that the 48 states of the Civil War is still active. Everything after the 13th Amendment, and I went through that last night with my talk show on the 13th Amendment, does not exist. I even sent the facts of the 14th Amendment. It's administrative rule by congressional record. It was never passed or ratified. That's where Donald Trump is coming out to the general public saying, the 14th Amendment don't exist. You don't have citizen rights being born here. And that goes back to the Immigration Act of 1787. It goes back that far. And so people need to read real history compared to what they're being indoctrinized to think what the facts are. And the one thing that we do appreciate what you, yourself, and others are bringing out to the general public, because the real structure. Type in your birth certificate bond. Find out that is your birth certificate bond and all that is run by the FDNC of the Vatican democracy start comprehending how our system works compared to what you think it is, and you start getting that when you talk, do not talk that we are a country of immigrants. We are a country that has been invaded because we're a family of 5 or more generations, especially native. We have a right to stand up for our bloodline. It is not what they're trying to do in the national media. That's why Democrats are falling left and right. Because people are comprehending with the separation of lawful and legal. There is no Democrat and Republican Party because that was put in after the Civil War. Voting never existed, technically, until after the Civil War, and only voters back in the Civil War. If you were a landowner, you could vote. If you were not a landowner, you had no rights to vote. And it wasn't until the Administration Act of 1940, we're talking recent years, 1940, that people had the right to vote. And please, if you don't comprehend that, please go back to the Dred Scott and Stanford case. That's the 14th Amendment. It even outlines if you use the capital C, and that's one thing I don't recommend, claiming yourself as a citizen, because the capital C or lower C means you're a slave, and that is in the 14th Amendment that was administratively passed. The capital C under the Constitution is still under the 14th Amendment, so that way you get to know if you're a citizen, and a citizen is a corporation member. Bloodline Americans are not corporations.
Okay.
It's knowing your heritage and how it works.
Okay, Ed, we gotta cut this short. We're running out of time.
No problem. I appreciate the time that you allowed me. I will post other stuff as you get that I've done. And I appreciate what you guys are doing, and people got to pay attention. If we don't protect the bloodline, there is no future.
Thank you.
Thank you. And look at Oregon Tracker, new.Oregon Trackers. It actually has the statute codes and administrative rules and the law of the Constitution on it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, go ahead, War Dog.
This week's Patriot pat on the back goes to Jim Zakowiak again because he stopped another Antifa attack in the front of the CNN building, and you can go to the website and see it. I may post it, but Antifa came across the street, cussed, filthy language. I'm not going to get in all that on our show, but anyway, Jim was there with his baton and his 45, and he put the guy on the ground, whacked him a couple times, stopped the attack, and cops was right there seeing the whole thing. So I just want to give him a little Patriot pat on the back for being there.
Okay, and thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, anybody else have anything they want to say? Okay, Chuck, do you want to close the show with the prayer, and then I will do the closing remarks.
All right, sir. Lord Jesus, we come before you right now to thank you, Lord, for this another opportunity that we've had to come here and do this work that you've given us to do. We ask you right now, Lord, that you would open doors, make those contributions happen, open doors for men to man those borders. We need all the help we can get. And we ask you, Lord, to help us with this effort. We ask, Lord, to continue your loving watch care over our country, over our president, our vice president, and their families, and all those working together with them to the betterment of our country and the defeat of the deep state. We ask you, Lord, to continue to let your blood of protection be upon them and your angels be encamped around about them, stand and watch over them. And we ask you, Lord, now, as we close this show, to continue with us throughout this night and into the coming days. Continue to guide us, guard us, and direct us, and draw us ever closer to one another and ever closer to thee. To be our prayer in Jesus' holy name. Amen and amen.
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 Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being with us again. this Monday night. Wednesday night, we will be back on the air, hopefully at 6 o'clock, between 6 and 6:30. We usually run a little bit late because we have a few technical difficulties for some reason, but we always get here. We give you the true news of vetted news, and we don't sugarcoat anything. We tell you what's going on the border. I want to thank our president for what he is doing. He's the greatest president we've ever had. Every time he says he's going to do something, he does it. So, folks, support our president, support our country, support what we are doing. But above all, and more important than anything, where your children come in, let them know that you love them and you care for them. Give them a hug and a kiss and let them know that they're a very big, if not the biggest part of your family. And listen to what they have to say. If they see something, let them know that they can turn to you and say, hey, this is what's going on. If their schools see things that are not right, make sure that they contact you or the school, call 911, and have it checked out. There's too much stuff going on in this country, folks. Our children are missing. They're being kidnapped. People are being murdered. If you see something that you know is wrong and out of place, call 911. Let them know. Protect yourselves, your families, your mothers, your sisters, your fathers. Also, though, protect our country, the greatest country in the world. You know, when President Trump said he was going to make America great, he did, but he made it greater, and it's even getting better. Let's all stand together as Americans. Let's all stand together united, and let's be there for each other and help each other.
Can I add something before you're closing?
Yes, you can.
Thank you, my friend. When people have charges of what they see going on, please report it in an affidavit of fact, because the district attorney, state attorney general, cops, lawyers, attorneys cannot write an affidavit. Oh, the only ones can do is a living man and woman, and that is recorded in record as facts as a living man and woman. So when you file your affidavit, you're above the court and learn what the Constitution means by it. And thank you for that.
Yeah. And our next show, we're going to have you totally explain it, because you probably just confused everybody. But that's okay. Folks,
I've done it more than once, but yes.
Folks, we love you. God bless you. God bless America. God bless our patriots, our military, our vets. And we will see you Wednesday night, unless we have an emergency broadcast.
Okay, can I add one quick thing to you before you close?
Sure you can.
Thank you, my friend. When you see people walking around with the flag, with the gold fringe flag on their patches and stuff, that means they are not Americans. The gold fringe flag is a corporation of administrative rules under Article 1 court, not Article 3 court. So know the circumstances is like the peace flag, and I'll send that to you, because I would like to start seeing people fly the peace flag, instead of the flag they're flying today in their house, because what you think is that you're flying the American flag, it's still a war flag that destroyed the natives. So is knowing what the flag definition means. And so once we start comprehending that, we start preserving our rights. And may the Great Spirit bless all you, and thank you for letting me speak.
You're welcome. Okay, folks, like I said, God bless you, and God bless our president. And I'm going to say good night. We'll see you again Wednesday night, unless we do have an emergency broadcast. If you hit the little bell, if you're on up on YouTube, when we go on the air, you will be notified. And appreciate you, and thank you for the donations and prayers. And we appreciate you. God bless you. Good night.
Thank you for joining the United Constitutional Patriots Radio show. It's very important that we all unite as Americans and to protect our country, because we are one of the luckiest people to be living in a free country right now. So please send your donations, whatever you can. And thanks for listening to the show tonight. And God bless every patriot. And have a good night.